Alright, so in this video, we're going to be looking at Jacob's recent performance. He played 3 songs at Abbey Road, Christmas songs, and I'm going to show you some beautiful ways that he reharmonized melody notes. In this key of C, this is where he started. Now, any good story I'm going to give you, in terms of the 3 songs, I'm going to give you the beginning, the middle, and the end, just like any good story. So in this case, we're going to be starting in the key of C, and the first song he did was I'll Be Home for Christmas, and I'm going to be looking at the ending section, this section right here. I'll be home for Christmas. So the melody note finishes on home, but there's a point where he doesn't come home. He does this. What? So that's, to me, that just, I just had to show you that's just striking, and it's actually quite a simple concept to have in mind. If you know that the melody note finishes on the home, you could think about going to the relative, in this case we're going to be going to E flat, so between E flat and C, it's relative major and minor, so going up a minor third and playing chord 4 of that key. So in the key of E flat, this is the melody notes. That chord 4 has a C in it, which is the melody note that we need. So we're pulling from different worlds. We're pulling from the C world, knowing that we're finishing in the key of C, ultimately with the melody note. But we know that we can also use chord 4 in relation to E flat. And you could stay there, or you could go do a bit of a resolve. So you could do like some tension. So and then resolve. That is such a good option to have, and it's very simple, but it sounds amazing. Now, he did something similar in the intro, so I'm going back a little bit. We were just playing piano. He started with a 5. He was starting actually with a note, and he did like a sus chord in terms of, and if you know Jacob and you've heard and analyze or watch some of my videos analyzing some of his songs, you'll see that he likes to use sus chords a lot, especially in terms of chord 5. Excuse me. So he did this where he was playing a sus chord that works perfectly. The G is in the melody note, that's fine. Excuse me. But then he also did this. Yeah, implying A flat major, which is the same idea, but in this case he knows that the melody note will be mutual in terms of the G, so it would work. So this is a good option to know that if you're in the key, in this key of C, if you're going to finish with the melody note on the tonic or the 5th, this chord is perfect. It's perfect. So for example, if I play, now I know that's, in terms of this song, it's not the normally it'd be, but just say the song it finished on the G, it would still work. So rather than going 5, rather than going to there, you can go G. And you can even take it a step further. You can even play the 5 of E flat as well, and then resolve to brilliant, just brilliant, just brilliant. So one more time. Da, 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 ba, dee, da, dee, boom, da, 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 5 in the next key of E flat, but then come back to C. Jacob, thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. So it's imperative that we practice this in all 12 keys, and I would encourage you, as you work through these concepts that I'm showing you, apply them in all 12 keys so that you're never ever limited. So for example, if you're playing a song, for example, in the key of E, just saying, let's go to the key of E over here. So this is the world that we're in. So the context would be, I'll be home for Christmas, but da, da, home, traditional way to finish it, but we're gonna think, okay, minor third above is G, and the 4 of that is C major, and that note will be what we need. So I'll be home for Christmas, da, 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 da. Beautiful. And you can take it a step further, as I said before. You can play the 4 in G, da, 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 the 4 in G, 5 in G, and then resolve back to E. Beautiful. All right, so the next idea, conveniently, is in E. He was looking at the song Wonderland. So this was the second of the 3 songs that he performed in this live performance. Another place where reharm happened over a melody note. So if I get the lyrics, so sleigh bells ring, da, 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 da. A beautiful, he did a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight. Yeah, walking in the winter. Okay, I got it. So we're in the key of E. So Jacob did this. I'm going to be specifically looking at a beautiful, so like halfway through the verse actually. So a beautiful sight. This is all fine. We're happy tonight. Once again, we're back to the tonic. So the first idea I showed you was some rehum options for the tonic for when you get to the home note. This is now another idea. Different context, but the same, different context, but we're still finishing on home. Let me show you what Jacob did. He did 3 different kind of versions of kind of reharm here. So the first option, a beautiful night, we're happy tonight, and then walking in, you could do like a 2, walking in a 5, and a 1. So what he did there, so da 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 da, this is pretty, traditional, da 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 da. So let me actually break down the chord. So we've got first inversion of F sharp, da 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 da, like an A6, and then first inversion of E major. Jacob does like to use first inversions a lot in the context of going between 4 and 3 as opposed to the minor, but I digress. So da 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 dee, da da da, passing chord here, da. Now this is in keeping with the song, it's not too much of a surprise, but it's still a passing chord, I would say. And then let's do a 2-5-1 to finish. Walking in a winter wonderland. So da 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 da. So that melody note there, we've got the 6. That's fine, C sharp minor, that works perfectly. The melody note is in there, that's fine. But then check out the second time when to sing a love song, to sing a love song while we stroll along. Ooh, and Jacob actually played it like this. I actually played too much. He does this. It's to sing a love song. Da da da. He actually does that. He just does the F, but his vocal, ultimately, when we kind of think about the context, so he's playing this diminished. Now you might think, where's that coming from? Well, he knows ultimately he's going to be going to that F sharp. So in the minor context of F sharp minor, the 5 would be C sharp major. So that diminished is forming part of that C sharp. Granted, the C sharp might not be in it, but that's what we're thinking. But the fact that you got this vocal on the here, that's essentially in the context of C sharp 7. That would be your sharp 9, the sharp 9 note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sharp. Oh, reharm. So remember the first version, da 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 bo, ba ba ba, C sharp minor, in terms of the diatonic scale. Da 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 da. Second option, da 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 da. Implying that C sharp, but we could just go. Rootless, no tonic. Da 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 da. Wonderful. Now the next one's quite radical. It goes like this. Da 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 da. Oh. Now I'll be honest. When he sings it, his melody note actually goes to the A, but I can hear on the guitar the E is still there. So we can imagine that ultimately he could have gone to E with the tonic, and it would still work same way, in the same way. This chord is radical though. This is 1 as a minor. Remember in the key of E. Oh, Jacob. So da 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 da. Let me walk it through. So F sharp minor, F sharp major, sorry, first inversion, da 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 da, A6, da da da, and then so you got this kind of bass line that's going descending. That one's radical though. That is radical. So you got like the sus4 on E, and then 2, da 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 da. Wow. So let me play them all for you. So da 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 da. That's fine. C sharp minor as our passing. Da 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 da. Okay, second version. Da 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 da. C sharp minor. Da, 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 I mean F sharp minor. Da, 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 da. And remember, for that chord, as much as Jacob's just doing it diminished, but we're thinking about it being a C sharp chord, C sharp 7. Da, 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 da. Third one now. Buckle up. Da 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 da. Oh. Da, 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 da. Beautiful. So, second concept, we have to apply this in all 12 keys. We just have to, and I would encourage you to do so too. That way, you are never ever limited if you want to employ this. For example, in the key of B flat. Let's go to there. So, the context of that first chord. Now, if I just back up to E just for a moment, if you want to know how to mark it, because the first chord is quite chromatic. That's not in the diatonic scale. So we need to think about this as being 2 major. So when we go to B flat, we're going to be thinking, this is the diatonic scale. Great. So the 2 with C minor, but we're going to be playing the major. I'm playing the first inversion. So da 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 da. Got you. So it's going to be here. Then we're going to be playing a 6 on the 4. Then passing. Then a 2-5-1. Walking in the winter wonderland. Now, before I continue to the next option, I really just want to encourage you that if this feels a little bit overwhelming in terms of, how on earth am I going to be able to translate what I've learned in E to, other keys? Take it slow. Take it slow. Take it slow. You don't have to, build up, because what I wouldn't want you to go away with is feeling that, these concepts are too overwhelming. You really want to kind of take things in micro sections. So even if you just, for example, just stuck with 2 or 3 keys, prioritize those, master those, and maybe do that in a week or do that in a day, depending on your time scale, and then build accordingly. That is something that, for me, like especially over the years, one way that I've been able to, be quite fast, and if you've watched some of my reaction videos thus far, you're able to see that I'm able to kind of pick up a lot of these concepts quite quickly, just because I've learned to familiarize myself with the idea of learning concepts, not just in the keys that the songs may be in which I learn them, but applying them, throughout all 12. But it does take time. It really does take time. And I would encourage you just to take time, step by step. Take each concept, one at a time. Pick a couple of keys if this is something that you're, not used to doing, and just build day by day. You'll get there. It may take some time. It may take a week. It may take a few months. It may take a few years. But if you're consistent, you'll get there, and you'll then really start to see the beauty of music as a whole, as opposed to just being able to play songs and concepts and being confined to certain keys. So I just wanted to encourage you with that. So in B flat. So coming back to Winter Wonderland. So the first option, da 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 da. So major, 2 major, C major, da 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 da. E flat 6. First inversion of the 1, B flat, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, that's fine. The second option then, we had da 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 da. Now we need to think about it. Now he went to the 6 as a 7, and it's going to be a sharp 9. So that will be right there. So da 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 da. Last option then, that was a chromatic feel, and it was playing the minor 1. Da 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 and da 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 da. And we had the 4 in there as well. And da 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 da. Wonderful. So we're nearly there, guys. The last option, he was doing Silent Night in the key of G. So you know the song. All is calm. Oh yeah. And he did it there. Once again, we're back to the tonic. Jacob, like, do you like plan this? It's his ideas of reharming the tonic again. So silent, and actually it was in a context where the audience choir were actually singing as well. But da 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 da, he was actually playing quite simply, actually quite functionally. Da 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 da. Then he did something like this. All is calm, all is bright. What? Because think about it. Traditionally, you hear this. Da 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 da. Then you go to the 5. All is calm. Then to 1. All is. But he went. All is calm. All is. Come on. So he was playing. Let's think about the melody. Da 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 da. Home. And he decided to do an augmented chord, which is actually kind of similar. If you think about the first concept that I showed you, we went to that minor third away, B flat, and we played a 4 of that. That would be E flat major. But he decided to do like a more chromatic approach. Yeah, so all is calm, all is, and he kind of did this actually, kind of resolved it like this, and then he did a kind of like a minor, which would work equally. Yeah, so like a 4 minor. So all is calm, all is. That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. The idea of augmented, so simply put a major triad and you raise the 5th to come back home. So same thing. Let's put this in the key of C. Right back to where we started. So if you know that you're going to be having a moment where you've got C or the tonic, you can think about the 3rd. This is the 3rd. So I would think about it like this, to be honest. You're playing the root, so the root, the 3rd, and then you're just raising the 5th. Yeah. So obviously it depends on the song and the context. In this, let me look it into what Jacob did. So. But you need to be able to kind of have a kind of way to be able to know that, okay, how can I utilize that? Like, what is my kind of like how we broke down this chord to start with the major 7 in terms of this chord 4 in the key of E flat. I was think about it in the same kind of way actually. So rather than this whole 3rd stuff, no, I think that's a bit too complicated. Just think about it like this. You already know that chord already, that major, because we know from I'll Be Home for Christmas. I'll be home for Christmas. Da, 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 dee. That's what I showed you to start with. And we thought about that simply put as being, the minor 3rd and the 4th of that. So the 1, 2, 3, 4. Da. So you could just do the same thing, but just raise the 5th. And you would get that chord. Yeah, that Jacob had in Silent Night. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. What? Come on. And the thing I love about these, ideas is that there's clear theory to it, and it's not overly complicated once you kind of understand the language. And Jacob is very much, speaking a language. Please do watch the full performance from Abbey Road, actually, of these 3 songs that Jacob did, because he really takes you on a journey. Also, especially, is the fact that he's playing piano for 1, then he plays guitar for the 2nd, and then he comes back round to the piano for the third. So he really does take you on a journey along with the audience choir as well, singing. So yeah, I just wanted to just show you these ideas in terms of his somewhat straightforward, and palatable reharm options for the tonic melody note, primarily. And yeah, to just just increase your interest really in terms of music creation. Jacob Collier is a very, very, very interesting character on the music circuit at the moment, especially just based on the fact that he plays so many instruments so well, and he sings beautifully as well. And his overall approach to music making, for some might feel, you might hear his stuff and be like, what is this? But the thing I like to do is, the more you take time and you break down these concepts, the more you'll start to see the patterns. And there really are patterns. A big one that I often refer to is the fact that Jacob often uses first inversion chords. What's interesting, actually, if I just go back to how I started the video with I'll be home for Christmas, he actually did this. First inversion of chord 1 in the key of E flat. Then he took a break and then took them back down to the key of C. That was really, really interesting. The fact that he's utilizing this idea of 4 and then 1 inversion in this context. It keeps happening. I've done quite a few analysis videos thus far, and this idea of going between the 4 and the 3 note and playing a first inversion of chord 1 is a common approach from Jacob. So yeah. So guys, I hope you found this super, super, super helpful. It was great, going through the video and doing an analysis, like a full analysis and reaction. So do check that out. As I say, I'll leave a link in the description section below. And in that video, I go through quite a few more of the options that Jacob did. He did a lot. Like in that video, there was so many different things that were of great interest to break down, which I think would be great and helpful for you. Because remember, all these ideas are not just to be played, in the context of the song that you've learnt them in. No, you got to play these in all 12 keys, so that you're never ever limited, and then you can play these ideas and be able to add it to your own arsenal in terms of your own music creation, and be able to play these ideas effortlessly. That's the key. And just take your time with it. As I said before, just take your time. If you do feel that this is a little bit overwhelming to start off with, go back definitely to the start of the video, and just take these ideas one at a time, apply them in all 12 keys, and then you can start to build to the point where, if for example we're in the key of C now, we could literally play all of the all of the concepts that I explained today, all in this key. For example, so it'll be home for Christmas. Da, 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 da. We know we're ending, so we can go do our major, and that's in relation to 4 major, so in the key of E flat, 5 major in the key of E flat, and then home. Likewise for Winter Wonderland, which was a beautiful sight. Da, 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 da. That was the first option. And then the second one, da, 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 and then da, da, da. It was this. Yeah, you went diminished over there. So you did a sharp 9 on the 6. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Then the last one was da, 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 da. Oh yeah, the minor one, and then the silent night one. You know that we did it before. Silent night, holy night, all in terms of this tonic. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.